I would appreciate your help. Look, let me tell you what I wanted to kick around with you today, and that is what is just headlining all over the world, and that is the sexual abuse of children. As totally bizarre as it is, and it seems to get just about every day. It seems to get a little bit worse. There were several factors here. First of all, the people that have raped these children, and that's what it is, it's child rape. The people that have raped these children are criminals. All right? They're criminals. And if you're harboring a criminal and you're not telling people about these terrible things, then you're a criminal. I mean, it's that easy. And now, of course, there's all kinds of questions as how far has it gone? Has it gotten up to the Pope and his brother was involved with aquire and they were doing bad things with children? I mean, this isn't something that's restricted to a particular church, a particular town, a particular state or country. It's all over the world. And when you see something like this that is worldwide of raping and abusing children, then there is something terribly, terribly criminal and sick about it. But you know what I wanted to do? And there's all kinds of thought about who knew what. Is it homosexuality? Is it pedophilia? Is it... what is it? In my personal opinion, it's tradition. And I'll cover that with you in just a few minutes. But let me look at this, if we could, from a little different perspective. Because, I've studied deeply biblical things and so forth. And here's where I think attention should be directed that has not been directed. The Catholic Church portrays the priests of their organization as representatives of Jesus Christ on earth. Well, these representatives of Jesus Christ on earth have been raping children all over the world. And what that does to me is not only make me sick about what these people have been doing and what these people have been covering up, but what it does is call into question the entire idea of this being a church. How is it possible to say you're a follower of Jesus Christ and then have your employees raping children all over the world and you covering it up or taking part in it yourself? So I think that's the problem. Now, I was born as a Catholic. I was raised 12 years in Catholic school. I never had a problem. I did have a difficult time in the very early years, but not in that way. But I couldn't walk in the door of one of those places nowadays. And the reason is simply I would feel I'm walking into a den of very sadistic criminal people. I don't really care who knew about it, who didn't know about it, who was covering up, who was not covering up, whether the Pope was involved. It's all irrelevant. This has been going on for years and years and years, and a question that I would bring to the front would be, if the people who were abused had never come forward, would the church have brought this information out? Would they have reported these people to the police? No, they wouldn't. And they wouldn't. There's another thing that concerns me because, as you know, I go deeply into what we'll call the spiritual realms of this. I think that if I were to assemble with them, either in a church or in the Vatican or wherever, I would be frightened about what is going to come down on that group. I do believe there's a God, and I do believe there's a power of Jesus, and I believe that it has to be mightily pissed off, excuse the expression, at these people. And I don't know what is going to come next, but I don't think it's going to be good. It's a terrible, terrible thing from a standpoint of the children, from the standpoint of the law. But I think when you look at it from the standpoint of spirituality and the standpoint of religion, what must God think of that organization? What must Jesus think of that organization? Didn't Jesus say, if you harm one of these little ones, you're better off having a boulder tied around your neck and be thrown into the ocean? So what is coming to those people from Jesus, from God, from the higher light? What are they in for? And it couldn't come too soon because of the terror that they have placed into the lives of so many young people for so long. It is a sick, sick thing. But, give some deep thought to what you and I were discussing here about the church, about this abuse of children, about the covering up of the abuse. How then does that qualify them as being a church connected to Jesus Christ? I really don't think it does. But I appreciate the fact that you shared this with me today, and I'd love to have your comments about it as well. I think it's a time we live in that here we are with this expose coming at a time when the prediction of Pak El Votan is being fulfilled, that this earth is undergoing a shaking. Thanks so much for being with me. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.